Alright, well, welcome back to the stream. We are trying out Han2 Yellow today. This was the first deck that I built into the latest set. I will post the deck list into the chat. Now, I wanted to try a deck early on with Nabat Village, which allows you to draw 3 more cards in your starting hand. You cannot take a mulligan. Then you, during the first action phase, put 3 cards from your hand on the bottom of your deck. So you're getting a larger card pool to select from. The idea being that we would be able to smuggle what we wanted, you know, the Force Throws, the Cassians, the tech. We'll be able to put them down, get our best starting hand possibly. So we want to hit like a Grogu with the Force Throw, a Ezra first turn, a Cassian, or just even playing a Spark. We want to set up our first couple of turns so that we can jump straight out of the gates with this deck. It is primarily focused around discard. Then the top end is a couple of Amphies and a Han solo. Alright, so let's get straight into it and see how we go with this deck. Alright, so let's jump in. And create a deck. So you can see there my favorite decks. I was playing around with Dooku earlier. The Swoop Racers put a deck guide out for that deck, so check it out. Didn't have too much luck with it, unfortunately. It didn't do great against blue. Anything blue, because you're cheating out big units, and if they can handle it pretty quickly, then yeah, it's all over. Alright, so this is our first hand here. You can see our additional cards. We're going to obviously pick the tech to go with, and then we think about what our first turn is going to be. So our first turn could be a Falcon. I think that's our best option there. A Falcon into Ahsoka or a K2, and then into a Poe. So let's get rid of the R2. So not an ideal start. Amphies. We've still got to get rid of 2 more. Let's get rid of a Plo Koon. And unfortunately, this is going to be like, is this our entire top end gone here? Maybe a K2. Well, he can't handle K2s at all. So let's go with that and see how we go. All right, so he starts with a Sabine. So this is not a great start at all, because our Falcon is going to cause us problems in terms of playing out our next turn. All right, so you can see we've now got a Spark and a Force Throw. I actually think we get rid of the Spark here and pull the Falcon back to hand. We can then play a K2 out, and then next time we can either play an Ahsoka with the Force Throw. Yeah. Alright, so let's play our K2 out. Or we can play a Poe next turn. Alright, so let's discard a card from his hand. Alright, let me move the video across underneath the score. Alright, so let's claim we're going to take 3 from the Falcon. We'll see if he keeps it in hand or not. Right, we do have a Kira and we do have a K2, so we're really spoilt for options here. Alright, let's get rid of the Kira. I think he's got too many options, especially if he pulls the Falcon back. Okay, which we did. So I think we play a straight K2 here. He may pillage us, or he may just play the Falcon back down. Okay, so we'll claim. We're probably going to get Force Throwed here. We can Force Throw. We can just use our Falcon if that's the case, and then we'll trade into his Ezra next turn. So that worked out really well for us. Kind of wasted his force throw. All right, so we've got a Spark or an Ezra. In the row, we have a Tech. All right, let's get rid of the Spark here. We may need some card generation with Ezra. We're going to hit in with our K2. Make him discard a card. So he loses the Falcon. Right, so now he plays a K2. So our options are, we could play an Ezra, which is very handy that we kept it, and then force throw him and see if we get lucky. We've still got Han to come out. Right, it is a Kira. We can now deploy and run into his Poe Dameron there. All right. So we've got Cassian, which can go into the row. He's going to have a Anakin that's going to come out as a 4/7. Right, so we do have a... So I think we played the Poe here. Or we could... What have we got? Because we can Karabast him. Let's see what we draw. All right, Spark or Rebellion. Let's discard that. Right, let's Karabast his... Plo Koon. Then we can play out a Poe. All right, we'll see how that goes. Maybe could have done that a bit better, but we've now got another Poe as well. We keep the blaster as protection for a force throw. I think so. All right. We can play another Poe here. Right, he's got the Falcon. All right, so let's just claim. Okay, so we want a card to throw out here, so let's see what he's got. We could play an Ahsoka to start with, and then a Kira. Or we can just hit him with Poe and do the 2 damage. So yeah, let's... What is it? So the Falcon's gone back to hand. Right, so let's hit his base. Deal 2 damage. I don't think we need him to discard. Let's put the surprise strike. All right, so he's going to harness back. Be 5. Kind of puts us in an awkward spot here. I think we just play Cassian. hit into his base. Right, we've got a bamboozle and a force throw. Question is, do we resource anything here? The Kira. All right. We can play a tech for 4. Or we could... Let's play out the Ahsoka. See what we get. He'll have to play whatever he's got. We know that our ones are down on the bottom, unfortunately. So that is a real sort of problem for us. Okay, now we're just getting blasters. We won the first game, didn't we? So we should be 1-0 on the list there. All right, let's resource a blaster. He should hit tech here. Yeah, the Han unit has proven difficult. We have no more in our smuggle row. Okay, so we can bamboozle. Why wouldn't he attack? Yeah, I was going to say. All right, so I think we just bamboozled the Han. And we're got a very bad hand here. Maybe we shouldn't have resourced that Kira that time. All right. Well, what did he name? Crate Dragon. We don't have crates. All right, let's just claim. Hopefully we get like a... Yeah, not looking good. It's got 6, 6, 12. Yeah, 15. I think that's game. Yep. That Han kind of took over the whole game, and we drew ours in our starting Nabat village. And, yeah. No good. All right. 1-1. It's kind of a mirror match, that one. We had a good start, but we kind of just got overrun by the... let's see what we want to play. Han Green. Oh, we're in the wrong deck here. Oh, sorry, I was trying Dooku before. Han2 discard. Still not sure about the Grogu's. Maybe it's good against things like Quinlan and that. Maybe I need another Cassian. All right, so we've got a blaster we can resource and an R2. We're playing Nabat Village here, so we're drawing the extra cards, trying it out. Now, what does our first turn look like? I think we want to play an R2 and a Grogu, or we could play an Ezra. Don't think we want to play a Falcon at all. We want to keep the Bamboozle. No, this is Han Yellow. All right, maybe what do we get? We got a blaster. What can he push? Let's get rid of Carabas in case he plays a Bodhi Rook. We'll have no events. Try and use our Plo Koon to hit his leader when he comes out. Okay, so he's played an R2. We will play an R2 as well. All right, let's play the R2 out. All right, so the K2 is good. We'll leave that on top. And so is the Ahsoka. So we'll resource the Ezra. We can go K2 Ahsoka. Right, he's going to play the hot shot on. Yep. Okay, well, let us just play the K2 then. Put that on bottom and pass. All right, so we have Enfy's Nest and then a Spark. Let's get rid of the Spark. Let's keep our units up. All right, let's... I don't need to rush to do that. Play an Ahsoka. Right, he's going to play a Bamboozle. We can get rid of an Emphies. And then claim. Alright, we can get rid of the Grogu here. Alright, let's hit into R2. Make him discard. Alright, let us force throw him. Alright, Cantina Bouncer will take care of his. Alright, let's get Han out. That way, if he plays the Han, we can Plo Koon. May play a Falcon in space here if he's resourced one. Alright, attack. Well, I have to kill that. Alright, there we go. We have a Falcon and a Surprise Strike. So I'm going to resource the Surprise Strike just because we've got a Blaster as well. Alright, let's hit in with the Ahsoka. Again, it's going to cause us problems. I should have maybe blasted. Let's hit him with the Falcon. Alright, we've got Jam Communications and Plo Koon. Alright, we will not resource. We'll pay 1 to keep it running. Yeah, this Han Solo has caused us lots of problems already in 2 games. Alright, let's jam Communications. What has he got? A Surprise Strike. Kind of worked out okay for us because we'll still get to play our Plo Koon. Run it into Bodhi. It'll survive. And then his Han will virtually have to take it out. Oh, wow, it would have been good if we had been able to save that. All right, pay 1. All right, I think we just pillage him here. All right, let's hit him for 3. Right, so we've got a Kira. We'll play the Kira straight down. Try and block. Okay, he's going to Carabast. Alright, let's Kira and just take the hit. We will say the liberated slaves. He'll have to hit him with Han. We'll hit his base again for 3. So yeah, 2 games in a row we have been done by Han Solo. Okay, so this is Not too bad. Right, we're going to play the Ahsoka. Hopefully hit a unit. Let's play the Ahsoka. Do we hit a unit? We do. We can tap Han. We can run in for another 3. Let's see if he claims. All right, we will then claim. Might have something out of the smuggle row. He does not. All right, we can now hit in with our Ahsoka with a blaster. Hit him with the Falcon and then play the Poe. He's going to play the Mandalorian. All right, let's play the Poe. See if we can get surprised we got out of that one. That Falcon did so much damage in space. All right, let's not resource. All right. Okay, we got away with that one. With that Falcon constantly chipping away. All right, 2-1. Let's create a game. All right, Poe ECL. All right, so the tech will go into the resource row. We do not have initiative. We're looking for a... Oh, what are we looking for? We're looking for a... Bamboozle would be really good against a Poe. What don't we need? I need 2 Ezras. All right, so what are we going to play first? We can either play a Grogu, a Spark, or Ezra. I don't think the Falcon's that good, but they're the kind of ones that we're looking at. So let's get rid of the Han. Let's give ourselves some options here. If he plays an A-Wing, yeah, we can play the Falcon now. It's kind of what the best case scenario that I was hoping for with that one. Right now we have a Force throw. Do we need to keep Carabas now? Maybe not. Okay, that worked out really well for us. All right, let's play out a Ezra. Okay, we can resource the blaster. All right, so he's going to play a Bright Hope here. Let's hit him with Ezra and see what we get. A Jam Communications. I'm going to play it so I can look at his hand and then play a Kira straight after. Right, he's got a Wedge and he's got a Chewbacca. Well, in that case, nothing too scary. I think we will just play out our Grogu so that we can try and block his unit from his big unit from attacking in space if he wants to go there. We may get ECL'd by a a Chewbacca or something here. Wedge. Yep. So we play that for 3. All right, let's deploy. We can then play Coon to kill the wedge. All right, let's hit him with Ezra. Spark, let's discard that. All right, let's claim. So this way the Plo Koon can kill the Poe. Right, what don't we need here? Probably the Kira. All right, let's kill the Poe. We can then... What can we do here? Let's Ahsoka. Try and hit a unit before he attacks. We hit a unit, which taps the Chewbacca. Okay, so from here, let's hit him with Ezra and see if we can get a 2 cost. We don't. Discard it. Let's hit him with Han. And then let's play an R2. What we're after is something like a Bamboozle. Would be really good. We have 2 blasters in the row. All right, let's get rid of the K2. So we've got 10 on board with 2 blasters on the row, which should be enough. We have 20 health left. So that gives an experience. All right, play the blaster on Ezra. It's an R2, we can discard that. All right, let's play another blaster, this time on Han. And then we're in lethal range. All right. Much faster than our traditional control or even the blue-green, blue-red shells. These games, so I'll play a quick set of these ones. Let's play against a... Let's play against a Yoda Green Data Vault, a deck that we know pretty well. No. What about a Tarkin Town? We haven't hit a Tarkin Town yet. All right, let's see how we go. Quick stream today. I'm off to see episode 3, which has just hit cinemas again straight after this. All right, so what are we okay with us losing sort of first turn? Nothing really. Let's the Han. Let's take that away. Maybe we just spark and then we go K2 and just try and strip his hand down. Let's try that approach. Spark, K2, K2. We keep the Falcon. I think we do. Amphis is too far away, I think, for this game. We're going to Spark or Falcon. Let's get rid of a K2 and a Force Throw. All right, let's just Spark him here. I don't care about aggression. Let's get rid of this other Y-wing then. Really after our... What would be really handy here is... Because he's just going to be able to pop Poe in, which will make it a +2/+1. So our Falcon is out of range. but we can kill the crack shot. He does have an aggression, so even playing Poe on... Alright, so we've got no more Tarkin Town. If we play a Poe next turn, he has got aggression, which means that he will just be able to defeat it by doing 4 damage to it, so that's not what we want. Did not get a kind of an ideal start there, so let's play a K2 out. We'll take some damage on the K2 from the Y-Wing. He plays a lot of units here. We might be set up for a pillage. All right, just wait for him to decide what he wants to do. He's already used Tarkin Town. Okay, we take it all on the K2. All right, and that we claim from there. Aggression. All right, so he can discard a card then. Take another 5. The blaster away. Question is do we just straight pillage here? He'll hit us for 5 and take us to 18. All right, so we can deploy out. So he can hit us for 3 a turn now. Well, more than that with Cassian. All right, we're going to have to hit Cassian. Okay, I think we can get rid of a Poe here. A very hard match for us, this one. All right, let's play... What do we play out here? 3-3, no. Let's play out another... We're dead anyway this turn. Couldn't do much about that. The Tarkin Town is very rough for us. He should just... well, he's just going to ready now. So he had 2 aggressions, kind of stopped us from playing the Poe on curve. All right, there we go. Move to 3-2. Haven't really fought a control deck yet. But the list is in the chat. The list is in the description. This is what the list looks like. So yeah, we want lots of unit. Maybe it was we needed a Carabast or a Bamboozle. I think that last game. Or even an early Grogu. But he had lots of removal for us. Han2 ECL. I haven't fought one of these for a while. Normally they go wide type strategies. Okay, so we're playing Nabat Village, so it means that we draw some extra cards and then have to put 3 on the bottom. This is not ideal because we did not get any smuggle at all. So we put Ezra on the bottom. We've got 2 Ahsokas, which is always good. The K2 is good, and the Ezra. So let's just even it out here. I think we have to get rid of a pillage and Ahsoka. Really want to lose the Poe. Okay, so pillage, Ahsoka, surprise strike. All right, so let's play out our Ezra. All right, let's claim. We'll be able to run into that Sabine. Cassian goes in the row. We'll be able to play a K2 out. He's playing red-green, which means he doesn't really have much defense against the K2s. All right, so he's going to play out a X-Wing with Poe Dameron. It was a really great card for the Han ECL. Are we in pillage range? Probably not. Like, we have got plays, so I think the pillage goes here. He's down to 4 cards. So I think what we do is potentially play a Poe this turn. He could have a K2 that he's going to run into it. Am I lagging, or is he? Yep, still waiting. All right, let's get rid of the pillage. This is the first time playing yellow for a while, I think, on stream. Generally, I stick to the blue aspect. I play the Poe out first. I don't want to hit with the K2 and then him have a Poe out. Let's see what he's got for us. Next turn, we do have a Spark and an Ahsoka. A good Spark out of his event, and then an Ahsoka potentially to block one of his plays. All right, for a cause. All right, let's just hit him for 4 then. We could have see a Poe come out next turn. He's going to put red 5 on top, Guerrilla Attack Pod. Have to be watching out for that. Hit his base for 4. So he's, for a cause, put red 5 Guerrilla Attack Pod. Only put 2 cards on top. Okay, what's better? Amphi's Nest. Amphi's Nest might be better considering he's got things like the X-Wing and that here and the attack pod. Gives us kind of reach across both. So let's put the Han down. And have the Bamboozle as sort of an emergency as well. Alright, so let's put the Han down. See what he wants to do. If he attacks first, I think I will just Spark. See what he's got. Alright, let's Spark. Alright, so he's got Wrecker that's going to come in. So let's nuke the Wrecker. Alright, so now he's got a red 5. Alright, let's hit him with the K2. When he plays out the Han, we can either attack it. No, he's going to claim. So then let's deploy out. Do we have a blaster? We don't have a blaster, unfortunately. Let's hit with the Han. Let's play out an Ahsoka. And then we'll hit for 8 with Poe to put him within range. of 1 hit. All right, there we go. And get rid of the Ezra here. And we do have a Emphy's Nest play if we need it. We've got beaten by, what, Tarkin Town. And then it was a mirror, but he was on Anakin Yellow. And both times have had like a Han just come out and wreck us on that. But actually, no, we won the Anakin Yellow one. We lost to the Poe. All right, let's get rid of the Ezra. All right. Okay, he's going to ECL out. He has to kill the Poe. Do we have a gun yet? We don't have a blaster. What's he attacking? Okay, well, we just hit his base for 3. We got rid of 1 Poe with the spark. Had 1 more. All right, so there we go. That takes us to 4-2. Let's jump into the... All right, so Dooku Yellow. So this is the new one. So if you're interested in a new Dooku deck, this one's pretty cool. This one, Sweep Racers have just posted about it. And it's quite cool. It's the only problem is it's not good against blue at all. So what don't we need here? It barely gets to the level where Dooku actually comes out, so I don't think we need Han. I don't think we need R2. And probably not the Pillage. All right, so let's play the Ezra. So the play is you play these two. There's 2 event. There's either there's 2 ones that spawn 2 units. There's this one and the other the droid deployment. And what you can do is you can play the infiltrating demolisher for turn 1 because it'll have exploit 2. So he may play that here. She does, but no, it's not potentially not the one I'm thinking about then. All right. So do we keep that bamboozle? Probably not. All right, we'll hit his base first and then see if we can... Do we want to play a Carabast? Yeah, let's play Carabast and then hit his Vulture Droid. And we've got a Force Throw as well. Might as well Force Throw him. Get rid of his unit that he could potentially exploit. Get rid of a droid deployment. The one on from the Swoop Racers doesn't run the swarming Vulture droids at all. All right, so we'll get rid of the Grogu. So we'll attack in first to see if we get anything worth playing. We get a Plo Koon. We can't play that because we're only on 4 resources. All right, so we can play an Ahsoka here. And discard his last card, which is a unit. Okay. All right, so Grogu can get resourced. He's got 6 damage worth of Vulture droids at the moment. All right, so the Sanctioner's Shuttle is going to take out Ezra. All right, so I think we can just play Cassian out. Hit for 6 plus our leader for 9. All right, and then pass. All right, so we don't need the gem anymore. Okay, he's going to capture another card of ours. So we could potentially get that back by playing something that's damaged. So let's play a Grogu for 1. We can, so we could have Carabasted it. Right, let's play Plo Koon and we'll hit him for 6. And let's just race him. All right, we can resource K2. Do we have any blasters? Not yet. All right, let's hit in for 6. Kind of needs a barrage or something, but he did not have it. All right, so that takes us to 5-2. So we are playing Han2 discard. This was the first deck that I built in this set. I'm now revisiting it, seeing if there are any changes to it. The idea is that we play Nabat Village, get a wider selection of cards. So we'd put the 2 smuggle ones, and now we have to pick our rest of the 3 cards that are going to go on the bottom here. So what are we going to play? So we are blue, green. I'm tempted. We want to jam. Grogu doesn't mean anything in this matchup, potentially. What we're trying to do is stop an early resupply. So I reckon we play Ezra first. Then we can play Jam. Get rid of a Falcon. A Poe. The Falcon. I think we can. Yeah, I'm going to Jam here. All right, I'm going to take that power. Right. Great. The R2, because we could play Ezra and still play the R2 here, but it might die too easily there. All right, so let's exhaust the Pike Sentinel. And let's play an Ezra. What we want, Plo Koon is okay. But I think we're going to try and go down this discard route. All right, so let's kill that. Why didn't he run his tech into Ezra? We don't need the R2. He's undid it for some reason. Discard it. Maybe he meant to run the tech in. You can reset turn. So he should run his tech in. Let's get rid of the Plo Koon. All right, so now he's done that. Let's just exhaust his Pike Sentinel. All right, now we can play out Ahsoka. Discard a card from him. We can hit the Pike Sentinel. Oh, sorry. Not hit the Pike Sentinel. Read. So it was the exhaust mechanic there. We want to pass. We don't want to exhaust anything. Okay, so now we can hit into the Pike Sentinel and discard a card from the opponent. Hopefully it's a big ship. The Turbo Laser Blast. All right, so now he's still in a good spot because we are a long way away from killing him yet. But he is top decking. We do have Han Solo to come out this turn. Hand disruption is worse than control. All right, let's exhaust. Yeah. All right, we can play. Our options are play Cassian. Then next turn we can go K2. I don't think Force Throw lives. Yeah. Hopefully Tarkin. If they ban Force Throw, they need to ban Tarkin Town. Right, so do we kill Piet here? He gets a 2 discount. Next turn he's going to be on 7. I think we just have to push. So this guy's saying ECL, Tarkin Town, and Force. And I agree. I wish they'd have hit Tarkin Town and ECL with the most recent bans. Amphi's Nest would be good. All right, so maybe the K2. All right, we can spark the remaining card, which is a Devastator. And then what we want to do is continue to push. This is the problem with Piet, is that you go into top deck mode and he needs more than a ship. He needs more than that. He needs a ship plus a removal. Going to some matchups like this, it's not good. All right. He wants a rematch. Sure, we'll give him a rematch since we liked his ban suggestions. So what he's after. So if he's going to ban, if he's going to do that, let's bring in our ones. We don't need Grogu's. We're going to bring in our Chams for this matchup. Senatorial Corvettes. Let's take a R2 out and let's take the Bamboozles out and put some Profundities in. Right, so the Blaster goes. Pillage is good, Force Throw. So what do we want to play? We want to play turn 1, we want to play Spark, get rid of Profundity. And then we want to go. We don't really have a play. Plo Koon can go. We may have to keep the extra Spark. Wow, that's a very clunky hand. All right, let's Spark. Let's get rid of. Anything there, it doesn't really matter. Let's say the Turbo Laser. That way we're getting rid of his non-unit, so we're getting rid of the event so that if we do get an Ahsoka, does something. So we can play our Ezra here. We can Force Throw the opponent. Hopefully hit the Pike. Right, so we've hit a barrage, which is good. I don't think we need jam anymore. Right. So let's hit Pershing. Pershing really can't survive here. We can play a Kira. Right, so let's say see the relief runner. Pass. Right, put the tech away. He'll draw with Pershing. We'll hit with Ezra. We'll discard that. All right, let's spark. See what he's going to play. He might overwhelming barrage us, or he's going to play that relief runner. Let's take the relief runner. Right, let's Karabast him. All right, let's deploy with Han. He resources here, then we can profundity. And let's try and get a profundity out this game. We need Karabast. It's going to vigilance our unit. That's fine. We will discard your hand then. Pass. Get rid of surprise strike. Okay, so we can play a Poe for 4. We can just play a Han. Play a Poe for 5. Probably don't need a Han now. Alright, so he's going to power. That's fine. We'll profundity him. Right, claim. We can overwhelm over the top of the Corvus. Goes down to 1 card. Let's Ahsoka him then. Tap the Corvus. Get over the top of the Corvus and play a K2 out. Cassian can go in the row. All right, so we can hit that and he'll discard a card. All right, so what do we got in the row? Got a blaster. And let's take a Cassian. Right, so we've got another Kira. We're going to Emphy's Nest. Get rid of the Kira. Make him discard the whatever that last card is, a Turbo Laser. All right, let's give Cassian. And let's play K2 with damage. All right, that should be it. 3 to base. Yeah, 90% of the time I think Piet loses that game. Just a bad matchup for him. Every card in your deck says discard. Yeah. The deck is called Han2 Discard. there's the list. The list is in the chat as well. So if you've got a lot of Piet players in your locals and you want to bully them, this is the style of deck that you want. All right, let's go